Welcome to the Big Balla Show and our first episode of this. Today we're going to be covering our predictions and everything just about the election. It's not really going to be, this episode's not really going to bring out our personal opinions on it. We want to start off the show with, neutrality and kind of
Neutrality. Yes, sir.
neutrality, and kind of make it unbiased or anything. We just want to just give our predictions and the facts for today.
Give your name for the record. It's not. It's
For the record,
the
my
record.
name, AJ Vermesh.
He's a Vermez. Okay, and I'm Michael Northrop.
And
This is the first installment of the what's the name of the show?
the Big Balla Show.
The Big Balla Show. Okay.
And our third co-host / moderator, Luke, is going to be in later today.
Yeah, he overslept.
He overslept. Great way to start, Great way to start the Big Balla Show.
Nah, he's our cameraman, our moderator, our fact checker, and yeah.
Yeah.
So real quick to start before we get into the politics and mainly where we think this country is going to go in the next 48 hours to 7 days. What made you want to start this? And that's just a general question because I can answer that.
Definitely. I was 2 a.m. I think I texted you and I was like, bro, let's fucking start a podcast because we always debate, we always talk, and we do that for hours and hours on end. So we're like, why have all this talk for nothing? Why not put it in recording? Why not make it official? Why not let other people hear our opinions? Why not let everyone hear other people's opinions? Because we have people already before we even had our first episode come and say, bro, I want to come on. I want to, so this is just a good thing to, I thought it was a good thing to do, especially since we're technically still in a quarantine, past the time for the time being.
Yeah, if we go back to April, when did the virus start? March
21st, I was out of school.
March 21st? Okay. Well, if we go back to April, peak quarantine, on the way to peak, we would spend a lot of time, more time than what's healthy, talking politics, talking about how we felt about certain subjects, till 4 or 5 in the morning, right? Yeah. And we would do this most of the kids we would talk to would be on that same boat. And yeah, they were. I would like to say they were pretty intellectual, and that I think more people should hear them. I think we have pretty good insight for our age. Now, everyone probably thinks that when they're young.
That's true.
They think they're wise, but
everyone thinks they're right at our age.
Yeah, I won't front. That's probably the reality. But I think we've had this in the works for a while. We knew we wanted to do this for a while.
But now then we stop at the bullshit. Let's actually fucking do it. Sorry for my language. I'll try not to do that. Mm-hmm. But if we want that Joe Rogan Spotify experience, we got to listen to their rules.
Yeah.
But
where do you hope to see this go? Where do you want this to go?
Honestly,
what do you want to do with it?
I don't have any specific plan. For me, it's just if it works out, it does. For me, this is just a hobby. Yeah. I don't plan on becoming a podcaster for my career. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck the name is. Whatever the frick the name is.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a profession. Entertainer, influencer.
I think it.
I don't want to.
Like Joe Rogan does it. I don't think it's well. He does UFC. He's clearly not his full time. Yeah. I bet he makes more. I bet with it in the UFC now. He has a Spotify deal.
I think they both directly help each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he couldn't have done the podcasting unless.
But do many UFC fans watch Joe Rogan just because he watches UFC? That helps his podcast.
Well, yeah. Well, he started podcasting.
And there are a lot of people that watch his podcast that are like, I want to watch UFC now.
We got to be content with. We're never going to be Joe Rogan. Thank God we're
never going to be Joe
Rogan. Things would get boring if we were Joe Rogan. We can look up to these people as mentors.
Or not necessarily mentors, more just
no, they
the
are. Yeah,
we can look at them they're the success story.
They're not exactly teaching us anything, so they're not a mentor. We can learn from them off just studying what's there. So yeah, we should be content with it not being that. We'll make it our own thing. We're already in the works of it. That name will change soon. Big Baller.
The Big Baller Show, that's probably not going to stick.
There's no way.
Big Balla LeVar is going to copyright us.
Yeah.
But let's get right into this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's our introduction.
Was that? Did you think we covered everything in the intro? Where we're going with this? What's the name of it?
Yeah.
What do we hope to accomplish?
We covered everything.
Yeah. Right. No, but back to how we knew this was up and coming. For instance, Friday, I'm driving back from Oswego with Luke.
Why are you driving back from Oswego?
Well, I was coming back from school, right? I was visiting, wanted to stay here till after the election with my parents. And it's a 5-hour drive, right? And I think me and Luke are talking for like 2.5 hours about politics, amongst other things. And I almost said to him at one point, I was like, listen, we got to stop and save this for the podcast.
Exactly.
Because I'm going to wish I said a lot of things during that podcast that I said during this car ride. So I'm just going to save it for that. Another thing, we got to be really content with this not being what we want it to be at first, right? We shouldn't rush it, right? It's going to come. So we don't need a thumbnail at first or any of the fancy shit because
we need the basics.
Because then it will become a chore. And when it becomes a chore, we're going to burn ourselves out.
Exactly.
Like those videos I sent you on startup podcasts, like most people don't make it past the 7th one. They burn out. So
because they spend all their time and money into the logo, into the marketing, and that's just,
what that creates is this psychology that you're expecting things that
won't come.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, they
it's
won't.
it's the same thing.
You're not getting more than 20 views in your first podcast.
It's the same thing with new music artists. You see on SoundCloud, they'll put all this effort into one video a week or one video a month, a drop. When in reality, and this is Gary Vaynerchuk's theories, you make like your perception of what is good isn't what the market ever thinks is good.
Exactly.
So if you release 10 things, the TikTok algorithm supports this sort of creativity as well. If you release 10 things that are shit, the odds of one of them blowing up, going viral, is a lot more than if you made one thing that you thought was 10 times better.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
But you put that out at a lower volume. You know, there's going to be a lot of things also that, especially when we're talking politics, especially when we have a guest on, that we wish we said after the fact that it happened.
Yep.
Right? Because, like, you'll get in a debate with someone on an Instagram chat, and following them blocking you, you'll probably, I'll lower my voice a little bit. Following them blocking you, you'll probably say, I wish I said this. You know, not even when you're arguing. You always think back to conversations you had with people, and you'll be like, I wish I said X, Y, Z. That shouldn't be a problem because they can always come back on again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that video I sent you, like, it was a video I sent AJ about starting up a podcast, essentially, and like 10 things you should do. And one of them is your outro. You should plug the person in the beginning, middle, and end, right? And kind of giving them an incentive to come back and that sort of thing. And you shouldn't cover everything. You shouldn't be able to cover everything in one podcast because then you would have no reason to have them back on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just not good business. So,
all right, so let's start.
Yeah, so let's start. I think now I feel pretty good about that intro.
Yeah, we gotta stay on topic, Northrop.
What?
You seem to get off topic a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so for the election, we're gonna start off with the most basic question. I'm gonna ask you a one-word answer. Do you think Donald Trump will win his re-election? One-word answer.
I am 90% sure.
One-word answer. Yes,
I'm 90% sure. I am very confident he will win this election. If you were to ask me a week ago, literally just a week ago, I would have been 50-50. I knew the polls were fake. I still would have been 50-50. Because...
Well, the thing about the polls was they got the margins right.
The only margin they got...
was the popular vote, but that's
the only margin they got right.
It's very important, though.
That's true.
That's a big thing.
The popular vote doesn't reflect...
You know, when a lot of people from the right say the polls are lying, you know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, in a sense, yes, the polls are not going to be 100% accurate.
No, but AJ, wait. They're very, very wrong on a state-by-state basis. I gave you that example during our test run. Let me pull it up right now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
when we were
for the past, like, 7 presidential elections...
Yeah, with Florida.
Florida, the biggest margin of victory is 2.5 points. And it's been like that for the past 7 years. And the polls are estimating Biden's going to win by 400% of that margin. That's insane. That's not happening. That's happening. And
because they have an algorithm that they kind of use to determine the outcome. They don't just sit around and be like, oh, what party do I see on Instagram more? What party do I see being supported? You know, it's not that. They take an algorithm based off new registration, based off previous polls, based off everything, based off what the president has done in the prior presidency, and then they put it all into an algorithm that determines it.
If there's one thing I learned from trading securities, as ridiculous as that sounds, people are very, very bad at predicting things in general. We can barely predict the weather reliably. No, really, like when Superstorm Sandy comes by, we have like 10 different models whenever a new superstorm comes by, and it's barely right on one of those algorithms, one of those models, right? I think that such a wide it's not like some of these polls are right. Some of these polls, like all these fucking polls are wrong. All these polls are wrong, or they're extreme, and they're in Biden's favor. They're in the Blues' favor, and you saw this in 2016 as well. But if you look at polling agencies from Europe, when they call in, they always see a much higher presence of Trump voters. And the reason that people explain that is that there's a quote unquote like secret Trump voter out there, right? The closet conservative type thing.
I mean there is we saw that in 2016. There's a reason why they were right. There's a reason why the polls were so wrong in the state by state.
Right. They were so wrong though. I think the polls are fake as shit. I think they're extremely gassed
to say
out.
They're fake, I think, is wrong. They're not fake.
I think they're literally propaganda. I think there was a listen, like in right after 2016. You ever see that video of that CNN reporter? He's in an elevator, and the guy he's in the elevator with, I don't know, maybe one of the dude's employees, has like a recording device in his pocket, right? And you can hear him say, "Oh, we have nothing on him. That story's bullshit." I forgot what story it was at the time.
I feel like I heard something about that.
Right, but like
I think I did hear something about that.
I think these people, I think it's propaganda, which is a strong word to use. I think these people really do set out to put out misinformation.
Why?
I don't care because it's the same thing
to discourage like conservatives to say why even.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's one of it. That's what happened in 2016. You had a lot of people and that's why they're pushing for higher voter turnout this year. I think you had a lot of people that got overconfident, said there was no way Trump was going to win. They predicted over 95% chance Hillary was going to win. And
99.
I mean, if you look at the
99.
99. Wow.
According to CNN, but CNN.
You look at the demographic of Trump voters, a little bit older people, a little more religious. I think they're people that will still try even when the odds are against their favors. You take the demographic of the left, which it tends to be millennials, younger people. They're much more likely to be like, "Oh, we got this in the overestimate things, get more emotional about it." And I think that was one of the downfalls of the left. And I really didn't expect. I knew they were going to push for higher voter turnout. I could have guessed that, but I would have thought, if anything, they would have pushed that Biden was losing a little bit in the polls. Keep people a little bit scared so that they will definitely go out and vote.
Yeah, but you saying that kind of counters your point earlier.
That's true because that demographic.
So why would the polls lie if they want to discourage their own voters? You know what I mean?
That's true.
For that
for that demographic it would. Yeah. For the right wing, you listen to DC Drano. Not listen. You look at his stuff, right?
DC Drano.
Yeah, and the typical.
I'll say that on the record.
Yeah, but you look at what they say. They always keep people a little bit on edge. Like, hey, you have to vote like your life depends on it. There's a good chance we're going to lose. It can go two ways because saying that so by the left putting out that they're smoking the right wing in the polls, that Biden's way ahead, that can do two things. That can either motivate the opposition or discourage the opposition, right? So I can't explain why they would push for higher. I think the margins are higher than in 2016, right?
Yeah. But no, by how much they think Biden's gonna win by.
Yeah.
Actually, they're lower.
It
depends. I saw a poll. It was off the Steven Crowder show. If you know what that is, he brought up a graphic. States where they had like Hillary winning by 10. Now
Hillary.
The states where they have Hillary winning by 10, they have Biden winning by 6. You know what I mean? Like in Michigan, I think it was Michigan. I was talking about this yesterday. I think they had Hillary up by like 11 or 10 points. I think Biden's up 6.7 now. Mm-hmm. I mean, this was a couple weeks ago, so these numbers probably changed. But I think it was so I think the margins are actually lower.
Not in Florida. I don't think they are where it counts. I know you're just in Michigan.
Well, in all the swing states, in the graphic I saw, there's a bunch of swing states, and a lot of them had the margins lower for Biden.
I was arguing with this dude from my college on Instagram the other day. And he's a cool guy, but I think he gets influenced by the polls. I've seen stuff on his story that I think is concerning. But he was trying to convince me how the turnout he said, okay, higher voter turnout tends to help Democrats just because there's more registered Democrats. They won the popular vote in 2016, right? But here is my argument with him, and I think this is still true. Not where it counts. I think the state that had the most registrations, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was California. Far from a swing state. There's a ton of red there. You go outside like Hollywood, LA, you look at it on a county basis, I'm pretty sure there's actually a ton of red in California. They hate it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But but registration there was really strong.
But
what I was saying, if you look at where it counts in swing states, I think the registration, what was the example I gave the other day? Minnesota. Minnesota, voter registration's overwhelmingly Republican, and Hillary won it by like 1.2%.
Yeah, but then look at Arizona. Trump barely won it.
That was the prediction I gave the other day. Is I think let's segue into the predictions. I think Trump is going to win everything he won in 2016 plus Minnesota minus Arizona.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Right? That's what I said last time.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
I think he wins every. I think all the basic states, Arkansas, Missouri, I think he wins all the guaranteed states.
Wyoming, yeah.
Yeah, it's Wyoming. Yes. I think he's barely gonna hold on to Arizona, and if he does, no matter what, whether he wins, no matter what, next election, 2024, Arizona's going blue. I think that's my prediction.
You think so?
Yeah, because a lot of people are leaving California. A lot of people.
Okay. Well, isn't California mostly Republican, like we just said? Are you saying they're going from California to Arizona?
They're leaving California. A lot of people are leaving California to other states, and that's why you've seen Colorado go blue. Imagine saying Colorado's a Democratic state. It is. It's not. It's no longer a swing state. Colorado.
Now it's blue. You're saying?
Yeah. Now it's 100% blue.
Yeah.
And I've been to Colorado.
I still can't understand.
A lot of people out there are conservative, but the big cities are all blue.
I still can't believe that they think Florida's going to go to Biden. Listen.
Yeah, Trump's
I gave you that idea, that fake poll, but here's what people gotta understand. This is heaven's waiting room. You got a bunch of old guys. They retired. They went there. They're 401. They love their 401ks. You think these people are going to just risk, even if they don't like Trump, you think they're going to risk a change from what works? Trump works.
That's the thing. Older people, they don't necessarily always like change. Conservatives, they like to be conservative. They want to kind of keep things the same. Liberals or mostly millennials, progressives, they always want change. So I think it's just I think it's a trend. I mean, I'm not saying Donald Trump is perfect. Don't get me wrong at all. I'm not saying he's perfect at all. But I think a lot of younger people, I think it's just kind of trendy. They just kind of want him out. And that's just because they want change. They want so many things. They want free college. That's not going to happen.
I truly...
You think Biden's going to make college free? No.
I truly believe that a lot of the reason they're not voting for Trump, but they're voting for Biden, is literally out of... what would be the right word for it? They want to get back at that he won in 2016. They want to... What's the word for it? I don't know. They have a grudge. Yeah, they want to get revenge.
Yeah.
No, I truly believe that, because so many of the things that they stand for, Black Lives Matter. Okay, if you support Black Lives Matter, you should vote for Trump. If you support Black Lives Matter, there's no one more racist out of all the candidates, the independent ones too, and the primary candidates. There's no one more racist than Joe Biden. That's no joke. Listen, Trump might be racist, but if Trump's racist, Joe Biden is extremely racist. I saw a compilation. I got to send this to you. He says in the first 5 seconds of this compilation, he says the N-word literally with the hard eye.
Okay, no, I saw that. That was a quote. You can't knock him for that.
Oh, it was?
When he was in the court, when he was in like the
Supreme Court,
that was Congress or whatever, he was quoting someone.
Okay.
So I don't want to hit him on that. But you're not wrong. I was saying this yesterday. Black Lives Matter and a lot of liberals, and I don't consider myself liberal, but I agree with this as well. They want to end systemic racism. I think anyone in this country with a sane mind agrees with that. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are not the people to do it. Joe Biden, 1994 crime bill, Tulsi Gabbard, is that how you say her last name, Gabbard?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even know that person.
So she was running for the Democratic nomination, and she was attacking Kamala Harris on this. Kamala Harris imprisoned thousands of people over marijuana crimes. Marijuana.
Yeah, I've been hearing about the crime bill as
Kamala Harris stopped people from getting off death row. She covered evidence until the state forced her to show. Tulsi Gabbard, I'm quoting her. I'm not quoting her exactly. I'm paraphrasing what she said. And people don't take this into account. It like blows over their head. Tulsi Gabbard, if the Democrats wanted a good candidate, she's the one. Joe Biden is a racist. I'm sorry. On the record, he's a certified racist. Kamala Harris, I mean, she's black. I mean, and when she first ran for public office, she said she was Indian, but that's beside the point. She imprisoned so many African Americans because of a bill that Joe Biden introduced and signed. How you don't beat systemic racism by voting in the people that started. I'm not saying they started it. It's been going on for a while, but they're the ones that keep it prevalent. Why are you voting them in? Name one bill Donald Trump has signed that helps systemic racism. Matter of fact, Donald Trump has had the most prison reform than any other president's ever had.
He's uplifted more people out of poverty, I think, than any president in history. Literally.
That too. He's created the most jobs in lower income.
What I wanted to say was
communities. Well, let me finish.
Keep going.
This is good. He has a long list of accomplishments. He's re-provided funding to HBCU schools, which is majority African American.
Right.
He's funded HBCU schools more than any other president.
He's the biggest donator of them.
Biggest donator, and he reopened funding to them. Because, for example, under Obama, they didn't have as much funding as they did now. I mean, and then you have the classic African American lowest unemployment rate. Okay, you always hear that one, but that's beside the point. But the HBCU, the prison reform, all this, like that's he's literally fighting against systemic racism. That's why Black Lives Matter, I think, is a good they have flaws. I think the idea of it.
Oh, of course. No, the idea is perfect.
Idea is awesome.
The idea is fine.
Yes, the organization itself is corrupt, but the actual idea, like the ideology, it's awesome. I think everyone should think like that.
Yeah, okay, but the organization and how they donate and what they do with their funds and the lobbyists, that's different. That's flawed.
I'm saying
but the idea of Black Lives Matter, but still that quote, Black Lives Matter, that's like we talked about yesterday. They choose things where if you listen, if I say I want to agree with the organization in New York City right now, the instant assumption is I don't think Black Lives Matter. Obviously, Black Lives Matter. Everyone knows. I think I've never honestly met someone that doesn't think Black Lives Matter.
No, I have, but they're the KKK, and
Okay.
Any sane person.
Yeah, any sane person will say Black Lives Matter.
And they agree that
but they have to choose that statement like as if like we still live in the era of Jim Crow. That's kind of insanity. And to go back to what I was saying before, I forgot what I was saying before. You were on a tangent. It's fine.
I spit some facts though.
No, you did. It was good.
Facts.
Oh, the crime bill. Okay, so this compilation I was watching last night. I still want to send it to you. So I've been hearing this defense of the crime bill for Trump and against Joe Biden. And I thought it was kind of like, okay, he was vice president. They put in a bad bill. No, I heard speeches of this dude when he was pitching it. I guess that's the right way to put it. He was pitching this bill. The language he uses is unbelievable. The bill was specifically targeted at African Americans.
I mean, he called African Americans.
He said Obama like
was the first mainstream articulate African American.
And then he goes like that's a fairy tale or something.
Yeah, that's rare. He called black people super predators.
No, he goes that's a storybook.
Yeah.
He called them all super predators.
He called them super predators. I mean, this is, it crazy because what we're saying makes it sound like we support Trump. It's not about that. It's just like this is blatant. Like this shit's so obvious that I just don't understand it. This is why I don't lean left.
It's revenge. I talked to so many people that throw the blanket, and throwing the blanket over things is something we could talk about for like literally an hour because the left does it they do it so much, and then they're so against it. Is the funny thing. They're all about diversity and accepting other ideas, except when the idea isn't one of their ideas. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know we're getting a call in about 15 minutes.
We're getting a what?
Call in.
What's a call in?
Call in.
Just hold up to the mic.
Yeah.
No, at some point we'll set this up with
we'll make it more official.
We'll set up with VoIP, whereas they call into like an intercom actually.
Yeah, but we don't have the fucking finances for that.
Yeah. No, I mean hold up to the mic. It won't even sound that bad. Yeah, or Skype through the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, or we can set up a Zoom. We'll figure it out. But going back to the thing about Joe. Yeah, I mean that's I just don't get it. I really just don't get it. How can you fight systemic racism and vote for Joe Biden? It just doesn't make sense to me. Yes, Trump has maybe tweeted some racist shit in 2010. That's not actually hurting anyone. That's hurting their feelings. That's not hurting their...
It's not keeping them down. If
Exactly.
anything, that's his opinions and his words. And more than anything,
Actions
more
speak louder than words.
more than anything, it's an emotion-based thing that they think he's such a bad person.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm not saying Trump's a good person. I'm saying he's a bad person. But the person that has factually actually done things to keep African Americans down has been Joe Biden, significantly more than Trump. I saw this compilation. Okay, I watch a lot of political YouTubers, like a lot. I'm probably a little bit biased because most of them are right-wing or moderate, right? Ben Shapiro podcast the other day, about like 27 minutes. Oh no, I gotta get a drink of water. He talks nonstop about everything Joe Biden has done wrong. He has virtually been on the wrong side of everything in politics for 47 years. There was not a single thing he got right. He was against going in to kill Osama bin Laden.
Yep.
I wish I could remember last night I was like reciting it because I wanted to remember it for the podcast. He has been on the wrong side of everything.
Yes.
Until like a decade later when he says, okay, that was a bad idea. He just said it in the debate now. The crime bill was a bad... When was the crime bill put in?
1994.
94, yeah. That's terrible. That's terrible.
26 years? Or am I wait? No, yeah, 26, yes. Math. 26
Yeah,
years.
okay.
Almost 3 decades to realize that his bill that he put in was one of the shittiest bills this country's ever seen. Ever seen.
Listen, I'm telling you, you look at how he preached the bill. The language he was using, he knew it was going to target African Americans.
Yes.
And he said in the proposal for it, he's like, this will keep these people from coming after our families, your mom, your father, your brother, your sister. Terrible. And this is one of the things I remember that he was on the wrong side of. He introduced 44 new laws that could be subject to the death penalty. I really need a fact check on that. 44 or more laws in the crime bill. 44 or more laws were in the crime bill that could now be put under the death penalty. Right? Crackdown on drugs like never before. And you just heard in one of the presidential debates, he was talking about how now he wants to start with cocaine in terms of making that legal, which is ironic with Hunter. Crack cocaine.
Hunter?
Yeah.
The laptop? Oh, we can't talk about that.
Can we not?
Can't talk about the laptop.
Why?
You can't.
We get censored?
Yeah.
Oh, that's YouTube.
Look at Twitter. Trump's Speaker of the House brought it up. Her account got suspended.
One of the things for this podcast,
Can't talk about the laptop.
One of the things we got to talk about for this podcast.
No, I don't.
We got to look into like fair use and that sort of thing because I don't want to get censored or get a strike.
No, I mean I'm not going to go into it because we're going to be way off topic. I don't 100% disagree with legalizing cocaine, but that's sounds crazy. Don't get me wrong.
I'm libertarian on the drug front. Yeah, Joe Biden Joe Biden was against legalizing marijuana for God knows how many years. He was on the wrong side. He thought you should go to jail for it.
The crime bill, like that, literally in prison. That's We're gonna let's not get off topic. Let's go back to the election. That was a good debate. That was a good talk though.
That was good. We went way off, but
we did. But it happens.
It was healthy.
It happens. It was
healthy.
Very healthy, organic.
Again, it's a speech conference thing. It's gonna take a while first because when I would Twitch stream.
That's why we need Luke here. We need Luke here.
Yeah,
to keep us in check.
Yeah,
hey
he's
guys,
good at that.
Get back. That's what we need him for.
When I would live stream on Twitch, the first thing, it was a little bit harder because I was talking literally straight to a camera. But on this, it's easier. I'm talking to another person right in front of me. There's a speech confidence that takes a decade to build up. All the best people. Joe Rogan has been streaming for 10 years. Not 10 years. 7, 8 years. Okay, almost a decade. And just now, in the past couple of years, he's really blown up. And just subconsciously, there's a lot of things that you don't think about saying because, consciously right now, I know I'm being recorded. I know a bunch of people are going to hear this. I know there's a camera, or at least there will be when Luke comes, or cameraman. But, yeah. It's fine. Went off topic. Let's continue.
All right, so back to I think it was swing states was the last thing we were on. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pull up a little, obviously you guys won't be able to see it, but you can look it up on your phone. Don't hate on me for it. But the 2016 Electoral Map. So in 2016, the Electoral Map, Trump won. And my shit is not loading. Okay, yeah. The swing states, Trump won. Arizona, Florida. He killed in Florida, by the way. It wasn't close. He dominated Hillary in Florida. Like, if it was close.
What was the margin?
I don't have the exact, but I know
I
it
can
was
find
over.
it.
Wasn't it over like 5 points?
No, the largest in 7 years has been 2.5.
Oh, that's 2.5.
Right.
Then what he dominated her in one spot. Well, won by like 5.
Um,
Was it? I think Ohio.
It was one of those.
Ohio. I think
one
he
of
won by
those.
almost 10 actually.
Really?
He killed.
Yeah,
Ohio.
and I know who they said was gonna win there. Hillary. I'm like.
No, they said John Kasich was gonna win Ohio.
Was that independent?
I'm kidding. No.
Oh.
Kidding. John Kasich, the Republican. He was the Ohio like governor or some shit.
Oh.
Throughout the whole primaries, he's like, they're like, John Kasich, you haven't won a state yet. He's like, we're gonna win Ohio. We're gonna win Ohio. And he won Ohio in the primaries.
I honestly wish we could go back to like the primaries when Trump was calling, who's Mike? He was calling him Mini Mike. What was his name?
Mike Bloomberg. That was in 2020.
No, yeah, the primaries this election.
Oh yeah.
What was he? What was he? The governor? What was he? His position?
He
Mike
was the
Bloomberg.
governor of New York.
Yeah, he was okay.
Or was he the
I'm
mayor? He was something like
Okay.
governor or
J-
mayor.
okay, listen.
Mayor. He was the mayor.
Listen, Trump might not be the most professional. He might take to Twitter, be a little bit loud. Maybe it's about time we had someone who's more of a people person, not as much of a politician. Listen, like the name calling. Okay,
It's funny.
like it's hilarious.
It's
It's hilarious.
Whether you like him or
both
not.
Both sides do it a lot. I'm never gonna forget this. I always bring up this example. In 2016, after Trump won that night, it was like 4 or 5 a.m. His son, what's Trump's son's name? The youngest one.
Barron?
Yeah, Barron's like falling asleep on stage
Yeah.
next to his dad. His father just won the presidency.
Yeah.
This kid probably doesn't understand what that means. Probably a very entitled kid. But they made so many memes out of this kid.
They did.
Actually harassed this poor
They
kid.
did. I know. I felt
Yeah.
bad.
So it
No,
goes
but,
both ways.
No, but let's think.
And
of
Mike
something
Bloomberg, listen, Mini Mike.
Mini Mike.
Like he tried to buy the
you're
election with
Mini Mike.
memes, which is actually interesting. We should talk about this.
How much did he spend on his election? $500 million on his campaign?
Too much.
Too much.
From a Wall Street guy, I bet. Bloomberg Terminal, I'm pretty sure he's a Wall Street guy. But, what was it?
Real quick, let's go through the nicknames. You have Mini Mike. You have Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe.
You
Hillary.
have.
I don't think he actually ever called Hillary.
Nah, he doesn't. He didn't.
Yeah.
But Kung Flu.
Kung Flu.
Kung Flu's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
No, I love on Twitter when he
Little Marco.
rants about
Little
something
Marco.
and he goes like sad exclamation point.
Sad, yeah.
Oh my god.
No, Little Marco. That's a good one. Marco Rubio. Low Energy Jeb.
That was the
That was
best,
hilarious.
the best name. Low energy.
I don't know the exact name,
Dude,
but
that was like the most like just overconfident thing. He'd be debating with him. He was in 2016, right? Marco Rubio ran
2016, yeah.
2016, and they would be like, I think there was a debate where they were like one-on-one on stage after some of the primary people dropped out. It was him and mostly Marco Rubio, and he kept calling him low energy. And it was so funny because the dude would
hilarious.
try harder, and it was just self-corrupting.
Yeah, that 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird to look from the start. Like people like, oh, Jeb Bush might be a good candidate. Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and you look back, like they would have been terrible.
I don't know if I would have voted for Ted Cruz, but he got way too much shit from like DC Drano, typical liberal, because they were very pro-Trump. I'm really interested to see what he would have done.
Ted Cruz.
Now he's a good guy. Now they love him because he's not running against Trump.
Yeah, no, Ted Cruz. I think he's like, if he were to get the nomination, a lot of more things would be uncovered about him. But just from what I saw, he was a pretty good guy. Classic conservative. Good morals, everything like that. He was a politician.
When they had Mark Zuckerberg on the stand, listen, I don't know that much about the judicial system. I don't know if you would call it on the stand, but when they were, I guess
My bad, I dropped my phone.
I threw something. Yeah, when they were investigating Facebook, Ted, not Ted. Was it Ted? What's his name again?
Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz went in on Mark Zuckerberg. He was Republican. He was one of the only guys that was straight up like, are you censoring conservatives on this? Are you going in on that? And need more of that.
Yeah. I mean, 2016 was just funny, but yeah, let me pull the map up because we got sidetracked again.
How many electoral points is Pennsylvania worth? 29 or 28?
How many? 20? It's in the 20s.
I think it's 29.
I don't think it's that
Look
much.
it up.
'Cause
Yeah.
New York's like 29. Or no,
Yeah.
I might be red. I might.
You know, it's
be
funny. You
very
go
wrong.
outside New York City. I don't think people realize how red this
Pennsylvania's
is.
20. New York's 29. Yeah, New York's 29.
What's Pennsylvania?
20.
20?
20.
Okay, I mixed that up. Okay.
And then okay, so
Okay,
back
I was
to
arguing. I was arguing with my uncle on this. So I'm in this family group chat, and it's me and my brother trying to red pill my uncle, and my dad's on the fence, which is funny because, yeah, okay, my dad's on the fence. He doesn't know. I don't want to disclose like who exactly believes what. I don't know yet.
You just said you were trying to red pill your uncle.
Well, that's different. We were trying to red pill my uncle. It's a funny. I mean, people are allowed to have opposing opinions. You know, cancel culture. I don't think we'll get canceled, but
I didn't say anything.
yeah, we didn't see it. It wasn't that.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Just go. Just
Well,
talk.
all right,
just
listen. And he starts saying how we get into this debate about how Hillary should not have won. I think this. Hillary should not have won even though she won the popular vote. And it's funny because until they lost against someone they really didn't like, they didn't worry about the religion of a justice. They didn't worry about abolishing the Electoral College.
Well, they talked
didn't
about
worry
it in 2000.
They didn't worry about packing the court. It wasn't until they were sore losers. Listen, we dealt with 8 years of Obama. Don't get me wrong. If you were right wing during Obama, you didn't like suffer that. Like, it didn't hurt that much. Everyone's much more politically involved now, and you know these times are very polarizing. So, being a Democrat during Trump's time, I'm sure hurts a lot more than being a Republican during Obama. But listen, why are we giving up these conserved values of how we run this country, or how we not how we run this country? That's always been changing, but how we elect people to this. Why in 2020 and 2016 is it now? Oh, we should abolish Electoral College. We should
they said the
pack
same
the
thing
court.
in
It wasn't a problem before.
Well, no, it was 2004 when Al Gore won it.
Really?
Yeah, they complained. But then again, when Obama did win the popular vote, but everyone loves the electoral college when their candidate wins.
Of course. Well, okay, that's true. I think the right is more principled, though. I think if Biden won the electoral vote and lost the popular vote, I don't think they would complain because they know the effects of a direct democracy, right? Because we have an indirect democracy in this country, right? Okay.
Yeah, because direct.
I'm like 100%.
We have a
99%.
half because certain people are directly elected.
Right.
Certain,
Okay,
I think it's like Senate or something or governor. It's direct votes.
Like-
It's just whoever has the most votes.
Okay. So
It's like half.
listen, what I've learned in terms of okay, so I'm taking statistics right now. Okay. My major is business administration. And here's an example I always give. If you have 100,000 people in one town in New York City, this is all hypothetical, of course. There's a lot more than 100,000 people in New York City. If you have 100,000 people in New York City, and on the other side of it, you have 90,000 people, but distributed across the entire country, and they all vote, who should win?
If whoever has the most votes.
What?
Say that again.
You have 100,000 people located in one city, allocated to one town in America, or you have 90,000 people evenly distributed across the entire country. Who should win? They're both voting for different people. The 90,000 people is voting. 90,000 people are voting for one
Across
person.
90,000.
Why?
Because it's across the country. It's not necessarily consensus, but you get different viewpoints from across the country. Where if it's 100,000 in one place, it's just what that one place wants.
Right, exactly. So
Unless that one place is a big city, there are a lot of things that big cities want that rural areas don't want.
Exactly. I think what should win, and I think what our founding fathers want to win, is who represents the most amount of people. Now, you would think, okay, that means 100,000 people. That's the most amount of people. And I always see this meme posted where it's a picture of all the counties in the 2016 election, and it looks like a sea of red and a few, spots of blue around the major cities. And the counter to this, because the right always pushes that out, is the silent majority, even though technically they're not the majority. And the left always, claps back with, land doesn't vote, people vote. Here's the thing, though, that I think whoever represents the most amount of land should essentially win. Those 90,000 people better reflect. You're getting a call?
Getting the call.
Hold on, real quick. Those 90,000 people reflect the economies of all the different counties and cities, rather than 100,000 people located in one town.
I agree.
And one person born in that town is more likely to be left-wing.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
All right, take that call.
Yeah.
Tell him you won't be able to hear my response. It's on speaker.
All right. What's your question?
Well, my question is, what is your stance on pro-life agendas, and are you like basically, are you pro-life or pro-choice, and why are you either or?
Okay, so we weren't really on that topic, but it's a good thing to move to. I'm not gonna. Okay, so the thing about the pro-life, pro-choice is I kind of contradict myself in my own answer because I believe in limited government and everything, like controlling people. So that kind of feeds into a lot of people's argument that like the woman's body, her choice, and I don't think the government should have a say in it. And also, it goes back to, well, if you ban it, it's gonna happen anyway. Just with drugs, and it happens anyway. But if I just have to go based off morals, I'm very in the middle about it. I'm not in the middle like yes or no. Like I'm in the middle in the stance that I think it should be allowed up to a certain extent. If it hurts the mother, if the mother's life's endangered, if the baby's life is in danger, like if it's gonna come out and just die anyway, if it's incest, if it's rape, I also agree with that as well.
I feel like whoever's pro-life, I feel like those four things are like the main, like, restrict, like, it's like, okay, I'm pro-life, but like those four things usually people say are like,
Yeah, and the last thing, I think it should only be allowed up to a certain extent. They say different things. People are gonna argue, oh, it's only 2 weeks after the woman doesn't get her period, but I think 10 weeks is fair. 10 weeks is, I believe some people say the baby gets a heartbeat at 8 weeks. It's 12. It's 8 or 12. So I say, you know what? I'll go in the middle of 10. I think 10's fair.
Are we keeping it clean? No bad language or anything?
No, we can curse.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Oh, wait, just make sure it's...
I just think those late-term abortions, like those sick fucks, like...
I agree. I love this dude. I love this fucking dude.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that's fucked up, too.
When you get off the phone, I'll comment my side on this.
Sorry, what did you say?
Those sick... And you know what Ronald Reagan said, bro?
Wait, who's this?
Josiah.
That's my boy. Tell him, Michael. Can you hear me?
Can you hear Mike?
Yeah, I love that kid.
All right, go back to what you were saying.
So Ronald Reagan once said that, it seems to be whoever's for abortion seems to already be alive already. So it's like, it's like being the rich man, and you're like, oh, you're at a spot of privilege, bro. And, it's like people have no compassion. It's like, oh, you're alive. And, I'm a person, I quit eating meat. Because I feel like, okay, if I'm pro-life, I'm being a hypocrite. If I'm saying all life is valuable and then I'm eating meat and stuff like that. So I quit eating meat. It's been like 3 months and stuff like that. So I feel like I'm not like some crazy Christian guy. I just really believe that, all life is, deserves a chance because I'm here and they didn't have a chance. So it's kind of guilt, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense 100%. One argument, that women have is, oh, it's just a clump of cells. But, a lot of people say this, but they're not wrong. When they find life on Mars or life on the moon and they find a small bacteria, they consider that life in Mars. They consider that life on the moon.
Exactly.
So how is this clump of cells not a living thing?
Exactly.
That's and also it's weird because these same people that are pro-abortion, they're also all the tree huggers, and
yeah, exactly.
So you're considering. So you think a tree is more alive than a baby?
It's crazy. It's fucking insane.
It is, but
And also, and AJ, I feel like you could have some value to this. Talking about per se the black community, and as a black man, I see this a lot, and I feel like it's just funny. I feel like a lot of white liberals will argue with you about what you see could help the black community, and I just feel like, okay, right?
They want to be heroes.
I'm not the type of guy who say, oh, a rich white guy can't.
He's right. They want to be heroes.
Possibly understand the struggles of the black race because he's rich and stuff like that. Because it was a lot of rich abolitionists that helped free the slaves. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to exclude white people, but I just find it a problem when these white liberals and especially girls, they will attack you, right? And say, this is the way. How could you like Donald Trump? This is that, but then offer no solution. And all they do is post on their stories, but offer no help. It's just talk, And I find that very strange to me.
You sure you don't want to get close? You don't want to damage them, right? They should be maxing out.
But no, that's a different topic. But again, I kind of see what you're coming from. I mean, 50 Cent came out and said he wants to support Trump. His ex-girlfriend, I don't know her name. She's not relevant. But she said,
don't mention. I wouldn't shout out. I don't want to say. I don't want to say.
Yeah, she said, I had to remind him that he's a black man. He can't vote for Donald Trump.
And she offered him sex.
Yeah,
It's pathetic.
Sounds like Jim Crow, doesn't it? Sounds like the 1950s, doesn't it? Telling a white person telling a black person what they can and cannot do, right? Am I wrong?
Yes, it does. And I've read this quote, and it says, majorities often fools with the same intellect, or common fools with this. They often have the same intellect. Be careful with the majority, because they can lead the sheep anywhere.
No, yeah. But yeah, so that's gonna conclude that. Thanks for calling in. You were the first call in. We have a couple other people that wanted to as well. That was some good questions, good points, and looking forward to the future. If you want to call in the next episode, always welcome. And maybe we'll get you on it one day.
Yeah, maybe I could come in person one day. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That'd be dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
is it only politics, or is it like...
No.
This segment...
We don't want to be just politics.
No, we don't want to be just politics. This segment itself, just for the record, this segment itself is just on the election. You're going to be covering different things. Majority, though, is going to be politics and, like, UFC. You don't want to be Joe Rogan 100%, but, all three of us here are pretty interested in those two things. So, yeah. But,
I don't know if... sorry to keep prolonging this. I don't know if you've seen my story, but I feel like I could, the stuff I post on my story and stuff like that, I feel like, from like spiritual stuff and like being wise in your actions and stuff like that and how you think and self-awareness, I feel like I could add to that. I feel like that could be a segment one day.
We gotta have him on. We'll have him on.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on.
We'll have him on.
We'll have you on. We'll be in contact, all right?
All right,
thanks for calling.
All right, thank you.
That was good.
All right, so I'd like to respond to that. I didn't want to respond while he was talking because it was going through your mic and he can't hear me. Also, be careful how close you are to your mic.
No, I was checking the sound waves.
Yeah, if it maxes out the bar, there's only like a certain level the mic can go to before it starts to get damaged. But listen, if you want, I know we're supposed to record a bunch today. If you want something to talk about for like 2+ hours, I could talk about that for hours, all fucking day. A woman's right to choose versus pro-life. Where do I start with this?
I don't know.
So,
where do you start?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I hate the right's notion of it's pro-life because it's ironic. They tend to be the party that supports the death penalty. They tend to be, a lot of hunters, right? Just in general, I think that notion of like they're pro-life is kind of bullshit. Now on the other side of it, on the flip side of it, I think the left's notion of a woman's right to choose is kind of listen, their body, their choice. Listen, there's another body that could possibly grow up, and that could have been anyone in this room.
Yeah,
I know of people who have sisters who their parents planned aborting, and now they're here and they're so happy they didn't. Also, we have a giant waiting list of kids looking to be adopted. Now, I'm not saying the what would be the name of that system, the orphanage. I'm not saying the adoption system in this country is perfect. I think we need to reform it. But there's a surplus of people waiting to get kids. Okay? So what you said was right, I think, in that, listen, if we were to find a single cell on Mars, there'd be news articles tomorrow, we found life on Mars. All right? So it's life, by definition. Now, now that doesn't mean I'm against ending a life. I support the death penalty. I love hunting. Okay? Now, let's take an extreme example. And because most people agree on most subjects, but it's when you take it to the extreme, that's where the differences really come out. I think as polarized as we are, I think most people actually do fundamentally agree on the same things. I think if a woman is due the next day, giant belly, and then she comes into work the next day with a flat stomach, that's not okay. Like that's a problem. That's not okay.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people disagree. In New York, you can get you can get an abortion up until the baby's born.
Yeah, no, he did something this year with it. I think the law's been around for a while, but he did something this year that changed it, making it even more disgusting. But what was I saying? But
getting off topic, bro.
No, I know. Getting distracted.
You are.
Caffeine.
It's the caffeine.
Yeah.
Stop drinking Monster. It's fucking with your brain.
My brain span. Yeah.
Your brain's literally on fucking coke right now.
Okay. It's a Monster. It's not Coke.
Your brain's on fucking coke right now.
No. Okay. I think that if you're here's my opinion. I think that if you're an adult, okay, you're having you know you're sexually active, you're having sex. I think the cutoff date should be a month to 2 months. I really can't decide on what it should be.
Well,
I don't think it should go by trimester because I think, in my opinion, if you're a responsible adult, you listen. A lot of this comes from education, upbringing. Listen, that's the problem though. Like you don't need to be a genius Albert Einstein to know to put on a $2 rubber. Come on, people. But it all comes in your upbringing, and your parents should teach their kids from a young age, and the education system needs to really teach these kids. Listen, you're playing with human life. This isn't a joke, okay? And I think that if you're a responsible adult, you know you're sexually active, you miss your next period, just get a test. Just get a test. It's really not that crazy. So I'm always stuck between should it be a month or 2 months because some people have later periods, some people miss their periods, and it doesn't mean they're pregnant. Listen, if you know you're sexually active, why not just be responsible? And regardless whether or not you're using a condom, just get a test, okay? And so I think that should be the cutoff point, a month or 2. And what do you think?
Yeah, and like I said, I think about 10 weeks, like 2.5 months. Because that gives, I mean, they're saying, 2 weeks after not having a period is not enough time. Well, you don't get unlimited time, right? Like you said, it's not a fucking joke.
Just for the record, the vast majority, like, I like what you said about how, well, we can make an exception to this, okay? If it's incest, if it's rape, although if it's incest, that's a person's decision, so, like, why would, whatever. The point is, the vast majority of abortions are, you can pull up the statistic, it's over 97%, I believe, are just people that made a mistake.
No, yeah, you're right.
And now it's really hard to say, okay, then why don't we just limit that to the ones that, are rape? Then every abortion, the person could claim, they got raped. So I think before we start reforming all the little niche things, we have to agree. I think most people would agree. The vast majority of abortions that are accidents, that's not okay. That's not okay. You made a mistake, and now a kid that could grow up to be one of us is going to die because of it?
Mm-hmm.
Nah. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah. No, yeah. But,
and one thing I think, now this is controversial, one thing I think is that might be different if you got raped, again, but if you're a kid and you made a mistake because you didn't put on that $2 rubber.
You say rubber. I just say condom.
You didn't get that $2 rubber. Taxpayers should not be paying for this.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it should be government funded, but let's go back. Swing states, bro. We can't.
I know.
That
was a good call.
Sorry, just that was a good call, but that sidetracked this. We have to go back to the election. So
again,
that's what we're gonna do.
It's like the talking conferencing because I while he was talking for like 10 minutes, there was like a million things I was thinking and I wanted to say. That water went down the wrong way. There's a million things I wanted to say, and so like I kind of was trying to remember exactly because I was trying to dissect everything he said. And
this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna say a state. You're gonna say who's gonna win. I'm gonna say Minnesota. Okay. You say Trump. Okay.
I like this.
And then
can we only do the swing states? Because like I mean.
Hey, you never know.
Okay. Do you want to swing to Texas? What do you think about Texas?
Texas is going Republican, but let me tell you.
No, but I think next
I'm gonna
couple
clear
elections
the map.
Could be a swing state.
And I'm just gonna read you the states. I'm gonna see this is gonna be your prediction of the final electoral college. Okay, I'm gonna start it off in the West Coast. Washington.
Oh, I think that state's not a swing state. I think it's historically left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Washington. Oregon.
What's the polls prediction? Do you have that right there?
Nope.
Okay,
Just
that's okay.
your prediction. Oregon.
Oh, I never forgot that was a state. Sorry, people that live in fucking Oregon. Right wing. Is it historically?
You really think it's gonna flip?
Wait, is it?
Oregon?
Is it historically left or right?
Historically left.
Okay, keep it left then. I don't care.
California.
I think
California. Don't argue it.
No, I know it's gonna be left, but I'm just thinking right now. There's a lot of Republicans there. I'm not saying it's gonna flip. New registration, again, has helped a lot of leftists. That's the majority of new registrations.
So it's going blue though.
Yeah. Again, it's not where it counts the new registrations, like I was saying before.
I'm just gonna put Hawaii in as blue because Hawaii will always be a blue state.
I was surprised because I never knew what it was. I thought it was right.
Really?
I could have swore because I was on Yubo. I was on Yubo pre-quarantine. We were all on Yubo, and I was talking to a couple of dudes from Hawaii, and they were always right wing. They were always just, it's anecdotal, I know that, but they were always right wing. So I just
Alaska, red.
red, absolutely red. It's gonna be more red.
Idaho,
Red,
Montana,
red,
Wyoming,
red,
North Dakota,
red. What's their electoral vote? How many
3.
votes do they want?
3.
What?
3.
3. Oh my god.
South
It's like
Dakota.
Arizona was my only. Red,
Nebraska,
red. Just go with
Can-
the swing state.
Kansas. Now we got because we need the total.
Oh,
outcome.
Kansas is red historically. Yeah.
Oklahoma,
Definitely red.
Iowa, swing state.
That went red in 2016, right?
Yes,
And that was like Hillary Clinton's home or something. She always claimed.
something like that.
Yeah, not red. I mean, I don't know that.
Missouri.
specifically Oh, that's red.
Arkansas. I'm just getting all these
Definitely
out the
red.
way. Louisiana,
Definitely red.
Mississippi,
Definitely red. There's no doubt.
Alabama.
Definitely red. Don't ask. Yeah, come on.
We gotta get these out of the way. Tennessee,
Red.
Kentucky,
Red.
Indiana, red.
Red.
Florida, swing state.
Red. I'm
Okay.
trying to just think about the margin. I don't know. Yeah, definitely red.
Georgia,
Yeah, I thought Florida was definitely red. Not as definite as the other ones, but it's
Georg-
definitely red.
Georgia,
Georgia, red.
South Carolina,
Red.
North Carolina, swing state. I mean, they say
That
it's
one-
a-
did that
they
go-
say
that
it's-
went blue
they-
and-
No, that went red.
In 26.
They
Okay.
said it was a swing state. I don't think it is. I think it's gonna go red.
I haven't heard much. I don't know about
Texas,
it. Red now, not red
for
in 10
now.
years.
Yeah, I agree.
Not red in 10 years.
Utah,
Red.
Arizona. Yo, let's talk about
Blue.
this. You really think it's going blue?
Blue. It's swapping. It's swapping. Swapping.
Colorado,
Is that a red state?
it's a blue state.
Right, I thought it was.
Do you think it's gonna flip?
I think it's gonna stay blue.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna stay
New Mexico.
red.
Okay.
Wait, are they historically red?
They're historically blue.
Oh, that's right. I knew the 2 states to the left of Texas. to
You
the
gotta
west
learn your
Texas.
Southwest
I know.
United States.
I think the only states that are gonna swap from 2016 again are Minnesota and Arizona.
Okay. Nevada, blue. Minnesota.
Red.
You really think it's gonna go red?
Okay, Hillary won it by. Hillary won it by
Right now you have
a
Trump.
margin of less than 1%, and new voter turnout there.
So I already have some states.
Overwhelmingly for Trump.
I have some states automatically blue, like New Jersey, Massachusetts, like
I
all the
don't-
Northeast already have.
All those like little states around New York. Like,
Yeah, they're always gonna go
I don't
blue.
know where
What about New
Maryland-
Hampshire?
What?
New Hampshire, swing state.
Well,
Went
how
blue
much is
last
it worth? Like
election.
2 electoral votes?
3 or 4.
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
We'll keep that blank for now. Wisconsin.
Red.
Think he holds on to it?
Wisconsin. I'm trying to just think of like geographically. I think so.
Okay. Illinois blue.
Michigan. All those swing states. Michigan, Ohio.
You think Michigan's going red?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Even if he
Ohio.
loses Michigan, we're still okay.
Ohio.
Red. No. I think there's gonna be more. Yeah. No. I think it's definitely red.
Virginia.
I know over the past few years they've gotten like taken over, right, by the Dems.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to say blue, but I don't know. The things that I'm really confident in, again, are just
New York's going blue.
if we subtracted the city, New York would be so red. I bet.
It
You go to
would.
Long Island, the
Yeah.
Italians, Albanians.
Pennsylvania. It's
It's
tough.
fucking scary, man.
It
It's
is.
scary
It's so
because
close. It's so close.
the pandemic I think has red pilled so many kids there, so many new voters. You know, Biden wants more lockdowns, right? And I think it was the WHO or one of those credible agencies, at least to the left, they're credible, said more lockdowns will actually now make more deaths because of starvation and suicide rates and depression.
So red, I'm guessing.
I think it's gonna go red, but there's so much more turnout there. I think there's expected to be a lot more turnout.
New Hampshire, it went blue. You think it's gonna go red?
I don't know.
All right. So right now,
Wait, what do you think?
I'll get into that because at the end, Maine it's gonna go blue, but then that one district's gonna go red. How did I do this? No, I messed this up. Fuck, yo, this electoral map's all jacked up. All right, so I've Maine, that one district going red. New Hampshire, I personally think it's gonna go red. So right now, based off your electoral map, 314 for Trump, 224 for Biden.
What was the number there?
314.
You know, there's a lot of predictions that kind of tie. I think at 269 is the number. 169.
269.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you mine.
I forgot why, because there's some chance of X number of states flipping.
Yeah,
that would
there is.
result in
I'm gonna give you mine.
Listen, like, I don't think it's gonna tie because, but before it ties, here's another thing we can talk about. They can count the mail-in ballots till the 12th.
Yeah.
So
unless it's a blowout,
okay.
the mail-in ballots.
I think over the next 48 hours to 7 days, this country's gonna be turned on its head.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a fearmonger and say it's gonna be civil war. I've said that a lot, like in private. I think at some time in our lifetime there will be some extreme change of power.
Yeah.
Via force. Like, listen, they both said in the debate, Trump and Biden, that they would peacefully, win or lose. The thing is, Trump agreed to do that against Joe Biden. Trump could argue, well, I wasn't fighting Joe Biden. I'm actually fighting the establishment.
Yeah.
And so if Trump didn't peacefully stand down, that would be bad. So
let me give
let
me give you my electoral map.
On the other flip side of it, I have a feeling that we're gonna find more dumped Trump votes, mail-in ballots, in a fucking sewer again, like they did a few months ago or a month ago.
Okay, so basically, I have Minnesota going blue. I have Michigan going blue. And
really?
That has Trump at 288, Biden at 250. I said just now I think New Hampshire's going to go red. I think it's actually going to stay blue. Pretty much I agree with the rest. So that puts Trump at 280.
You think Arizona's going to go red?
No, I think it'll go blue.
Okay.
I was saying yesterday I was on the edge. I think it's going to go blue. So that's Trump at 284, Biden at 254. That's what I think's going to happen.
Oh, wait, you also think it's going to go blue?
Yeah.
Arizona. It was red before?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay. So we agree on... Well, we don't agree on Minnesota. We agree on Arizona. Okay.
Now I'm going to give you what I think is Trump's best scenario and Biden's best scenario. So Trump's best scenario, Arizona going red, Minnesota going red, Michigan going red, New Hampshire going red. I think that's Trump's best scenario right then and there. I don't think he can flip any other state.
I think once
and I had Alaska,
Florida,
I don't know why.
Pennsylvania, and Ohio or Michigan, those three, come back red, I think we got in the fucking bag. But I think if the right.
Oh, you consider yourself right?
Well, I'm moderate, but I want Trump to win.
Okay.
I hope Trump wins.
All right, and don't say we.
Yeah, okay.
But
where do you side? What do you side with? I know you're not right. You're moderate. I'm moderate, but I'm voting for Trump.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck who wins. I honestly don't give a fuck.
What about the Second Amendment?
Exactly. That's why I don't care. I'm a one-issue voter.
So you do care.
Why? Trump's
done one issue.
Trump's done nothing but hurt our Second Amendment.
Well, you just
he
back by the end, right? A lot better than Biden. Obama.
Why?
A lot better than Biden.
Trump imposed more gun laws than Obama did. You can fact check me on that.
No, but that wasn't Biden. Biden wants to bring in O'Rourke, who will come door to door to take our guns.
Okay.
Well, Trump what did he do? Just took away our bump stocks.
Took away bump stocks.
Yeah.
Against silencers. Due process now. Take the guns
he didn't
now.
Ban silencers.
Due process
no,
later.
It's just a process to get silencers.
He said take the guns now. Due process later. That's a Trump quote.
Yeah. No, I don't.
He's
agree
imposed
with it.
more gun laws than Obama has. So for me, that doesn't do it. That doesn't cut it.
So why aren't you voting for Biden?
What?
Why aren't you voting for Biden?
Because
I got you.
There's so many reasons.
No. If you're a one-issue voter and Trump's done all these things,
I'm a one-issue voter to support someone.
Why don't you support Biden then? If you're a one-issue voter,
you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm a one-issue voter when it comes to supporting something. So if I'm one-issue voter for the Second Amendment, if I see someone is not infringed, they're helping the Second Amendment, I will support them.
Trump isn't helping the Second Amendment.
No, he's not. That's why I will not support him. Joe Biden's not either. That's why I will not support him. Boom.
How old are you?
17.
Okay, if you could vote, who'd you vote for?
Joe Jorgensen.
Okay. Oh, okay. If you had to decide between the two. I forgot there were independents, my bad.
If I had to decide between Trump and Biden,
You're a one-issue voter. Look what Trump's done. You know Biden would do a lot worse
I don't
in
know.
terms of that one issue. Dude, wait, what are you talking? Wait. You know what he said about the AR-14s? Okay. Wait, you know what O'Rourke wants to do?
Well, just because they say
He wants to
something-
wait.
Just because they say something doesn't mean that's what's gonna happen.
I can agree with that
But
a little bit.
if I
'cause
have
I
to-
think Biden, when he says he's gonna pack the
Bro, if
court,
you're gonna ask me a question, you gotta let me answer.
you're right. Okay.
If I had to vote, I would vote Trump.
Okay.
Just because it's a
If
lower.
I had to choose between the two.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd vote Trump. Just because I know they're both gonna infringe upon it, and it has to come down to the worst thing I ever have to do, and decide between the lesser of two evils. And that would be Trump. Now, I'm not saying Trump hasn't done other good things. Don't get me wrong. I've literally said earlier what he's done good. And does that matter to me? Yes. What pushes me over the edge is the Second Amendment.
I think we do a pretty good job staying unbiased. I think so. Thus far, we've covered things that we don't like about either party.
Yeah.
The thing that really made me go moderate was the whole abortion thing. Cause I'm sorry, the going back a little bit, the right's stupid in that I've seen. Okay, so that whole thing about if there was a single cell on Mars, blah blah blah, and so there's some people that are against.
I'm mad fucking hungry.
There's some people that are against. Get Uber Eats. There's some.
No, I got food downstairs, but I'm
All
going
right,
to
good
get
stuff.
this.
There's some people that are against day one abortions. Now, that's hypocritical because you could argue. How do I say this? That
It's okay.
doesn't
You can
sound-
say you're pro-life to be
you're-
pro-death penalty. I don't understand that. You are. You're pro-death penalty, right?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay, but I didn't say I was pro-life.
Are you against abortion?
Like I told you, I'm middle.
Okay.
Like very middle. I'm not as far as to say
then we'll
you
talk-
can't have a day one abortion because it's hypocritical. Because if you could say when a guy masturbates, that's mass genocide,
No, it's not.
right?
No.
What's different
Because there's no
about it?
fertilization
life.
going on. There's no
It's life.
fertilization.
No, a cell is life.
Okay, but then you can say that about anything.
Right. No, exactly. That's why I'm in the middle. That's why I think the cutoff should be a month or two.
Okay, yeah.
There are some people that think the first day you get pregnant, regardless if it's a rape or not, you should have to have the baby. That's
like the
ridiculous.
hardcore
That's
Christian.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's. But
Always right on Instagram. She supports that. Insanity.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Trump's best case scenario have him at 325. Now, if you're going like miracle, I think he takes all of Maine, which would put him at 328. Okay, Biden's best case scenario gets Arizona, gets Minnesota, gets Michigan. He's not getting Florida. I don't care what anyone says. There's no way Joe Biden wins Florida. For me, Joe Biden. For me, Florida is just as red as Oklahoma right now.
Yeah.
I have Joe Biden, Wisconsin. I think he could take Wisconsin back. I don't think he takes Ohio in any way, shape, or form. Gets New Hampshire back. He definitely won't take all of Maine. That's just like not happening. And then do I see him taking Pennsylvania? I really don't. But Trump's miracle state was all of Maine. Biden's miracle state, all of Pennsylvania. That puts him over the edge, 284.
That would mean Biden wins?
Yes. In my opinion, that is Biden's best case scenario, 284.
I see.
I don't see any other state.
I think that they did a poll and like 56% of people 56% of people said they are better off now than 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that alone, I mean, midterm, is this a midterm? No. What is this election? A midterm election?
Bro.
That's
Midterm elections like 2 years into the presidency, they do like the Senate and stuff.
the Senate. Okay. Whatever you would call it in terms of out of 8 years, after the first 4 years, how many presidents there have been that lost that? 3 or something?
There've been a couple, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that statistic alone of, okay, you're doing better now than 4 years ago. I think a lot.
Wait, hold on. I messed up. I'm sorry. For Biden's best case scenario, for some reason, I had New Mexico red for Trump's best case scenario. But yeah, so that actually puts Biden at 289. Sorry.
When's Luke pulling up? When's Luke pulling up?
No idea. But
He's
we
still
are
in bed.
officially
You should go
1
wake him
hour
up.
and 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
Dang.
Good stuff.
So I think we should conclude this episode just with our final thoughts, final conclusion. 1 minute each. Your minute starts now.
Trump wins everything that he won in 2016 plus Minnesota minus Arizona. Over the next 48 hours to 7 days, they're going to have to count the ballots. If Trump wins, there's a good chance that Biden will find more ballots out of nowhere. Give him a reason to win, therefore. I don't think the swap of powers here, the step down and the transfer, if Trump steps down, I don't think that will be easy. I think something will happen. Not to fearmonger. And then for Biden, I think that if he wins, Trump could have a hard time stepping down because, again, in the debates, he said he would peacefully step down against Biden, but he could make the argument that he's not against Biden, he's against the establishment, which is kind of true. I think that's all I got, honestly.
All right, so that was 50 seconds. So my conclusion is I do think Trump will win the election. It's either going to be very close or it's going to be a landslide.
What is a landslide by definition? Because I've used that term, I've thrown it around, but what does it actually mean?
Well, a landslide is, if you're talking about an election.
Does it just mean the underdog wins?
No, a landslide is when you win by a lot.
Oh, I see.
So if Trump were to get 300,
a blowout.
So
a blowout.
Yeah, so it's a blowout. So if Trump were to get 328 electoral votes, like I said, which I think is the best case scenario, that'd be a landslide.
Nice.
I consider a landslide, in my opinion, over 310. I think anything below, I think between 290 and 310 is a good win, and then from 270 to 290 is a close win.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But yeah, that's really it. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for calling in. And that concludes the first episode. Thanks.